Welcome to part 12 of Sonic Mania. We're in the last zone in the game.
You just missed my musical, everybody. I'm very
Well,
sorry.
If you don't get all the Chaos Emeralds, that is.
Wait, what?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I
know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, this is either way. This is still the last zone in the game.
The last zone with 2 acts, anyway.
The last full zone.
Right.
Yeah. And oh my, okay, I think aesthetically, this is my favorite new zone in the game.
Oh, totally.
Like I love how vibrant it is, but also how like fittingly Eggman menacing it is, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
right.
Somehow it's both vibrant and like dark at the same time. Somehow. That should not make any sense, but somehow it does.
And also somehow this all takes place on Little Planet. Like, did Eggman just use the Phantom Ruby to his advantage to make this whole facility?
Yep.
Yep.
Just write off anything with the Phantom Ruby. That's how it's supposed to work.
I guess so.
Now here's something I was surprised by, and I don't know if I've mentioned it in previous parts or if the whole thing has been mentioned at all throughout this commentary, but they did the same thing as like in Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 with Supersonic sprites, where he doesn't have like original ones for stuff like looking up. And
right.
I was amazed because that's pretty lazy considering, you know, what time it is. And just, you know, that's been done in a ROM hack of a Sega Genesis game where they gave him, you know, more accurate sprites that they weren't able or weren't willing to do it in this one.
Are you talking about like the supersonic animations where in the original games he would look up, but like his spines would contract back down and just be the normal model, just yellow? Or
yes.
Yeah,
it's like how when you're on those spinning barrels in Hydrocity, he would be like a normal
Hydro City, dang it.
But with friggin' normal with Supersonic's color palette.
Hydro City.
I'm sorry, I explained in like a previous part it was a force of habit.
Well, get over it.
I'm trying, damn it, but you're missing my point.
No, I'm not missing your point.
I grabbed it. Actually, it hit me right in the face.
Alex, but I mean, I kind of look at that as like a specific like attention to detail.
Alex, go home.
No, I am home, physically.
Anyway, I forgot.
Oh, jeez, Jesse. Fucking cutting it close there.
I'm gonna scare you guys quite a bit.
Stop it! Stop it! Jesse, Jesus Christ!
Careful, Jesse! Careful, Jesse! Careful, Jesse!
Oh my God!
I think I actually do fail this one.
Whoa, my God, Jesus. Dude, it's going too fast. If this was in 60 frames per second, this would be a lot easier to watch.
Holy balls!
Dude, why didn't you record this in 60 frames?
I did. It didn't upload in 60 frames, you dimwit.
Well, are you gonna upload the 60 frames version?
No.
Hey, look, it's 60 frames per second now. What the fuck?
You can see just how smooth the animations in this game are.
So, I forgot why I did that, but I did that,
Because you were figuring, hey, I'm gonna have to get all the medals at some point. Might as well start getting some of them now.
Oh, by the way, I kind of crushed the hopes that there would be more zones for the people watching the leaked stream, because I said, if you notice the gimmicks in this stage, these kind of look Final Zone-y. I don't know if you guys are noticing.
Well, I mean, I don't see why anyone would figure that, you know, aside from the Supersonic exclusive one, of course, that there would be anything after this.
Well, I mean, like, we were figuring out, like, the new stuff in this game along with the guy leaking it. We didn't know precisely how many zones there would be in the game, and we didn't know, like, what the final boss would look like. We didn't know what these zones were, or anything. We went in as blind as the guy leaking the game. So when we got to Titanic Mark Act 1, you're going to notice like a few... There's actually one specific section in this zone where it's basically like one-for-one a portion of Scrap Brain.
Really?
In terms of design, yeah. Like, you'll know it when you see it. And I'm like, this has to be the final zone.
I like the use of the energy spheres from one of the bonus stages in Sonic 3.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
Also, fun fact for people, when they like hacked into like the PC version of Sonic Mania recently, they found like an unused 3D model for the stage, and it was a giant. Like you notice in the background, like there's this giant Eggman robot.
Yep.
They found in the code that there's like a giant 3D model version of this same robot.
It's really cool how like. Again, I wish they did more with the actual like story of the game, with the transitions, but like the way that they've told the narrative through the backgrounds, like in Lava Reef you saw Little Planet, that sort of thing, and in this one you can see like the big Eggman robot up close. So like those little details just adds to the novelty of this game, and it really goes a long way.
It's the little things.
Oh, and speaking of gimmicks from Final Zones, those platforms that will just gradually move down or up, depending on where you stand. Death Egg.
Right.
Specifically, Sonic 3 and Knuckles Death Egg.
Yeah.
Really, the stage just like has an amalgamation of like almost all the Eggman and Lair stages from all the classic Sonic games, with the exception of Metallic Madness, because that's an actual stage in this game. But it has like the platforms from like Death Egg, and it has like the yellow bumping parts on the wall from Metropolis Zone.
You know what would have been great is if they had put in a reference to the final zone from Sonic Chaos, the Game Gear game, because that game, or sorry, not Sonic Chaos, I meant to say Sonic Blast, because that game is so horrible that nobody would have caught on that it was a reference to that game.
If they really wanted to be a real dick, they could have put slicers on some parts where you could bounce into them. Just as a nice reference to Metropolis and how much you hated that zone.
Now this part seems, even for a final zone, a little bit dickish.
Not really.
Not really. Like, it's a little tricky, but it's a little
thing.
It's a little tricky, but
I don't know. I got it really quick.
Yeah. Like when you actually play it, it's a lot of stuff that you say looks sticky. It's actually really not that bad.
Just gotta be like, well, it's up there. I just gotta aim up left when I get down at the bottom.
I suppose I'll have to see, when I'm actually able to get and play the game.
Good job, Justin. Good job, Tails.
Speaking of Death Egg,
this boss was a pain in my dick hole when I was a kid. Sorry I had to describe it that way.
I didn't have that much trouble with the original version of this boss, but this one gave me some trouble, as you can see.
This one gave me no trouble, ironically. But the second phase in Sonic 3 fucked me up so much.
See, this is one of the parts I'm intimidated by, because I don't think I've ever legitimately beaten him as normal Sonic in Sonic 3 Knuckles. I've always done it as Super Sonic, because I like spamming it.
Well, you're a noob.
I'm a self-admitted noob. You're not going to get a debate out of me.
Oh.
I know I suck.
There's no point in, shit talking even, man. Don't make it fun. Ugh.
Oh, well, I apologize.
It's okay.
Rest in peace, Alex's dickhole.
Oops. There it goes. Oh, where's the sign? Tails getting bored. Just here. I think Sam's gone.
Sam's internet went out.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Well.
I wanted to see if anything was over there.
Okay.
And speaking, if you want more T-Lopes goodness, this track in particular is really freaking cool.
Hi.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Sorry for my supposed absence for a few minutes, but my internet went out because I decided fuck you tonight for a few seconds. But
what is going on with your voice, dude?
What's going on with my voice? What are you talking about?
What is going on?
What are you talking about?
Sounds deeper.
No one cared who I was until my internet went out.
Wait.
I'm gonna be honest. It's not. He sounds normal on my end.
He doesn't on my end.
No, he doesn't.
Okay. I'm gonna drop out real quick and come back in and see if that fixes the supposed error.
No, don't.
But if I stay like this, you guys are just gonna keep on fucking laughing.
Oh man,
and
it
you're
went
not
back
gonna
to
be able to take
normal.
my points seriously.
It went back to normal. Crap.
Oh,
Thank God. If I can come in real quick, getting back to the stage, going on my previous point about how this stage has elements from other Eggman Fortress stages, we also have the return of the pig enemies from Scrap Brain Zone.
Ah, yes,
And-
ball hunts.
And talking of the boss we just fought earlier in Act 1, if I can comment on it real quick. I did not like that boss in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It was annoying, so I wasn't too fond of it returning, but yeah, it's a final stage. It's supposed to be a hard boss. What are you gonna do? I guess I just need to get good.
Also, I
Well
love how the stage bounces you around a lot, but it doesn't do it in like really annoying ways that throw you way off course, like Death Egg in Sonic 3 and Death Egg in Sonic 4.
Right.
Like, it throws you off a little bit, but not to the point where you'll get off track and like, wait, what? What am I doing?
There are a lot of like fake outs in this stage where like you think you're about to run into some spikes, but then a hidden spring pops up and launches you to the right way.
And I love the background, like stained glass windows, like this is a one big cathedral. Kind of a
Yeah, that is a beautiful touch, I will say.
It's kind of a nice little nod of how egotistical Eggman is.
Right.
Worshipping himself and his creations.
Stained glass windows, that's what my evil
Narcissism.
fortress needs!
Yeah, he has a bit of a narcissistic problem. Go down, you fucking fool! Like,
Not
that far down.
Not that far down. Yeah, this part always gives me trouble. There we
There
go.
you go.
oh yeah, I remember this section. Out of all the different sections of this act, this one is the one that's most annoying for me because it's the one that punishes you the most if you decide to try to take shortcuts, because if you don't land on the platforms the right way, you're just gonna keep falling into the haze and have to keep looping on this part over and over again. Like that.
Yep. And that can happen. Yep. It happens a lot.
Jesse, I know you're supersonic and you want to go fast, but you gotta actually take your time.
Dang it!
Take your time!
Jesse.
Stop! Time, goddammit.
It's like he keeps cutting back to
Dang it!
previous
It's like
footage. He's not.
I'm playing like a noob Sonic 2 player.
Yeah. Oh, you almost fucked up again, Jesse. Ooh.
Will he do it? Will he do it?
Will he? Yes, he can.
But since I cut out for a bit before this stage started, and I'm not sure if you guys comment on it, but how do you feel about the gimmick of this act of like transitioning into different parts of the stage, kind of like the same style of like a Mega Man boss rush room?
It's a nice way to lead
it's,
into the final boss.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It just kind of gives it that whole super evil kind of vibe. Eggman's got everything planned.
You're in Eggman's house now.
Exactly.
Yeah, final zones were
Quite a
never
fancy
like
house.
final zones in Sonic the Hedgehog have never really been known for as stages people like to go back to.
I don't
But-
like going back to this.
Yeah, this is one of my least favorite ones to go back to simply because it's kind of long.
But the thing is, you only been here for 5 minutes. But say it's just like flying battery. You can be there for 8 minutes. You don't even feel like you've been there for 8 minutes.
Yeah, and you don't really feel like you've been in here for 5 minutes either. Like,
And I feel like I've been here for fucking 15 minutes. Holy shit. Is the stage gonna end?
Well, I like going back to Act 1 because that one goes by a lot quicker. I don't mind this act in the sense that it's not as enjoyable when you're just going back to play it normally, but it's like it works really well as a final stage for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, final zones have never really been known as stages people like to go back to, but
Although I don't feel
this is a lot more enjoyable than all the other ones in the classic Sonic series. I will say that.
Maybe
Yeah, I can agree with that.
maybe I'm just not fazed by stuff like this anymore. But this level doesn't really feel that threatening. It just feels like a fancy, robotic factory.
So something just came to mind.
It's like a robot church.
If this is like Eggman's house, like Jesse explained, do you think that he's really mad at Sonic right now for not taking his shoes off at the door?
Probably.
Probably.
Oh, that troublesome blue hedgehog is running around and getting mud all over my glorious new cathedral.
Yeah.
Rip.
It's always him in his red shoes.
His red Michael Jackson shoes.
Okay, so Iizuka. So Atake Iizuka has.
I said don't get crushed, you idiot.
Good job.
That's one of the few times I've gotten crushed by my own idiocy the entire time I played this game.
Ooh, I like it.
Oh, by the way, this area right here is what I was talking about with the scrap brain design.
It's got some scrap brain elements, yeah.
Right.
But as I was saying, Takashi Iizuka has kind of hinted that there's a classic dimension and a modern dimension. Here's my thing. How does that explain Sonic Generations?
Well, you see, they probably...
Did they retcon Generations?
I seem to be hearing that the explanation is that...
Wait, maybe they did cross, like, dimensions, but they were just calling it time.
Well, Sonic and Tails mentioned that they recognize... Well, at least Sonic recognized... Sonic recognized Green Hill and Chemical Plant when he went through them in that game. Modern Sonic did.
Well, it seems to me like, from what I keep hearing, the explanation is that the classic Sonic that we see in Forces is different from the classic Sonic in Generations.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh,
So
okay then.
So that's like kind of the different dimension explanation, but it's still rather confusing. Yeah.
There's also another thing that's confusing. Modern Sonic in Generations goes through Green Hill, and when he comes back out, he says, "Is it just me, or is that place awfully familiar?" And then in Forces, we kind of see that the characters treat Green Hill as like a normal location. Like they like Knuckles in the story trailer references, "Hey, Eggman's defenses have, cut through Green Hill."
Right.
Who fucking knows, man? Maybe they just said, "Fuck it, let's start over again."
Sonic Forces really
never
is.
Been one of the...
Sonic Forces is the soft reboot we need, but don't deserve. Sonic 06, while Sonic 06, Sonic 06 is the soft reboot we deserve, but not needed.
It's like, how do I want to put this? Goddamn. Okay. If the official explanation is indeed that the classic Sonic in Generations was from the past and the classic Sonic in Forces is from this game, just from a different dimension, then, wow, I forgot the second part to my point. That's wonderful. That is fucking wonderful.
Because this is all bullshit, that's why. Because Iizuka doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah, alright, I got it back. We can, again, write it off as something the Phantom Ruby did, because I guess, it does have these teleportation sort of abilities and whatnot, and I don't fucking know.
We
Just-
were in
just
that
end the
zone.
part.
We were in that act for 8 minutes, and we're finally gonna see what's on the other side of that portal in the final part of Sonic Mania.
Because you're slow as shit. I'm just kidding.
It's a pretty long zone.
Yeah, it was.